All right. Well, hello. Hey, guys. How are you? So welcome to another Steemwave Radio. My name is Crimson Cloud. I'm your host, S, today. And we're going to do some chitty-chatting. Going to do a little bit of chitty-chatting about communities and catching up with stuff that we didn't get a chance to talk about last week. Crime show already. Yeah, crimes, man. Welcome to the early morning. It's dumpster fire savings time. Everything has changed. It's all garbage. And so today I thought we would catch up because last week I did my show live from Thailand. I was sleep deprived and freezing and curled up in my bed. And many of you guys were listening. We were just hanging out here in the voice chat, having a little intimate party from Thailand. And we talked a little bit about what was happening with communities and things like that. So that's kind of what I thought we would do today. And I thought maybe that, so you're on after all. I am on. I'm always on. I'm here. I mean, Christ, I was going to say you can't turn me off, but I've realized that many of the things that I say here on air become really, really horrible sound bites that come back to bite me later. So that's fine. I'm fine with that. We've got people watching over on the Vim stream. I got to get over to the Twitter twat to let them know, because I know there are some people who want to listen from Vim as well. And we might even find that you guys want to pop over to the Vim at some point today, because if you want, we can make a community. I could show you around in the back end. I could show you around in my back end, and we'll get sorted. So like I said, if you're watching over on the Vim stream, you could say hi, you could chitty chat over there. You can do that and it'll be piped over here. We can all join in the discussion because I want to know your questions, your comments, your thoughts on communities, wherever you want to direct today's conversation. And so one of the big things about communities is I thought if we have the Vim stream, I could show you guys a little bit of what it looks like. What's up just came for the Crim Giggles. It's true. I never say anything useful. She just shows up. And clapping. But there's some stuff that I kind of want to go over. And I thought, if you guys want, we can actually create a community on the stream live today. If you want to get a feel for the interface and sort of what's happening. It's really simple, but it's really awesome. And I kind of want to get you guys looking at this because Roadscape has been working his ass off a community. Yeah, we'll talk a little more about that. But I think that's a mistake. A community would be such a mistake. LP and I are going to have a philosophy show soon. So Swoop and LP are going to ponder the deeper nature of butts. And that I'm sure will be a hit show here on the waves. So we talked a little bit last week about just basic uses for community. We answered some really sort of surface level questions. So I imagine that many of you will have more questions or more thoughts or more comments. You always do. But there are some changes that are happening even now. Roadscape has been working really, really, really hard on this. He is a doll. And things are changing even day to day. Is it weird I want to marry Roadscape? No, not at all. Me too. Also, but his lady is fabulous also, and they belong together. So it's uncomfortable. Because you're you want them to marry too? It's let's all marry Roadscape in a community. We could make a community called Let's Marry Roadscape. That would probably be very uncomfortable for him, in which case maybe we should do it. So here's the deal. We could very well make a Let's Marry Roadscape community. So this is something about communities that I thought might be interesting and might be might be topical for us. You can rename them. You can pivot on them. So unlike saved namespaces, what do I mean by saved namespaces? When you talk about getting your Steem account, you get your Steem name. There it is, right? You can't really change it. You can't do nothing about it. There it is. That's what it is. Now, obviously, communities evolve over time. Leadership may change. Topics may flow and ebb and become something different. There's lots of things that can happen in which your community name might not stay the same, right? And so unlike a Steem account where if you are, Pussyfart69 and you decide, hey, this probably isn't the direction I want to go in, tough titties, you got to make a new Steem account. When it comes to I'm just waiting for the crowd reaction on that. When it comes to your community gets an individual name, but not the way you think. You could have a robots only community. That would be amazing and horrible. So when you create a new community, it gets a hive name. Now you guys may have seen this in the presentation. I've linked out to the presentations, but if you didn't watch them, you didn't read them, you don't really care, TLDR, whatever, your community gets a name via hive. It gets hive and then a number. Now that is unique. You don't pick it. It doesn't matter. Means nothing. Doesn't matter. But that's your unique ID. And it means that when you go to name your community, you can name it whatever you want. You could name it Community. And then if somebody else wants to make a similar community, a community with the same name, a community that's almost exactly the same but has a slightly different subset of rules, that's fine. It means that communities can grow in the ways that they want to. It means that there could be competition between groups. I might have a photography group where you could only post one photo of a knitted tea cozy a day. And, Ron may make a community that you must post 14 photos a day and have a minimum of 100 words, and you have to have your knitted tea cozy referral link in each post. Whatever. The rules are whatever you set them to be. Now, people have been asking, how do I get access to this already? You can't. It's here. It's an MVP. It's out there. It's working, but it is in a small testing phase right now. So you guys may have noticed my post from Steamfest. We're opening it up first to people who were at Steamfest, a small group, and some outside testers of community leaders and witnesses and things like that. And so we're just trying to keep it small because things are changing a lot day to day. And that's why I want to have you guys here. There's a couple reasons. I want to prep you guys for being some of the newest people to join communities when testing goes into a wider release. But I also want to get your unadulterated feelings on the stuff that exists because it's changing quite literally. Yesterday, I think a couple of us, 2 or 3 of us, made different suggestions to Roadscape on things that we thought about. They were pushed by the end of the day. So this is absolutely a living, changing process right now. Hey, Azaria, thanks for joining us. And so, this is a really exciting time because these represent a lot of things that we've talked about on this show, right? We've all sat here and we've talked about things that we want and ways that we can build and curate experiences that are more palatable to the outside world or that would allow you to bring more people in. We've often said part of the reason that we have a tough time onboarding is because when you want to invite someone, it's confusing and it can be scary for them. And so communities is kind of this layer of insulation. You can create and shape and curate an experience. And that experience or that place or that community might be just the ticket for you to onboard people or for people to find things about Steem, right? It's our dream and it's getting pretty close. So I kind of want to start talking about this today. And of course, if the show moves on or we talk about other stuff, great. But if you want to talk a little bit about communities, now is the time. And I have set up a browser source. I mean, we'll see if I end up fucking giving you guys all my keys by accident. That might be entertaining, right? But we can try creating a community today, or I can show you sort of around some of the changes of the community feed and what it looks like. They're very, very simple. We talked about them last week, but you couldn't see them. And if you don't really feel like opening up the presentation again, which at some point you should watch Roadscape's presentation. It's super adorable. He loves his work. He loves what he's doing, and he does a great job presenting. But if you don't want to, we could do that today. We could create a community. We can look around. I can show you some of the main things, whatever you guys want. Now, the only other thing that I can say is that there's going to be a lot of room for you to play with the features that make communities so good. And that is basically hivemind. That is stuff that doesn't necessarily have to be in consensus, but the stuff that makes a social experience really good, like maybe notifications, or maybe Marky has created a community called Coconuts Rock. Fair enough. So are you able to flip over to the Vim stream? Do you want me to show you around a little bit? What it means is, for people here in Discord who can't watch, it might be a little confusing, but I can indeed throw something up on the actual stream. Hey, Osbit Bank! I can throw something up on the actual stream and I can show you around a little bit. It looks, at first glance, a lot like steemit.com, but you'll start seeing some changes. Now, Marky's got a nice little image clip in here. So let's take a look at this for a second. If you're in Discord, you could see it. You'll see there's the leadership right there, and you'll see there's a hive and a number. Remember how I talked about how your community would get a unique name when you created it, right? There it is. That's what it looks like. That owner account, that owner whatever. That's how Hive actually names your community. You'll be able to find different ways to deal with this. Now, whether that's you deploy it on a website and you put a nice vanity URL, that'll be something you can do. Whether it's just that you can search through the community's feed and you can find it by name, there's that. And I know that getting a proper URL and a sort of name resolving is on Roadscape's list as well. But one of the things he pointed out is, communities should actually get a little busier, should get a little more entrenched. They should have to hit some sort of metric before they can have a vanity URL. And I think that's a really good point, because it only costs 3 Steem to make one. People will be making them out the wazoo, but we want to see the ones that get busy, that bustle, that have good moderation, that create a really good focused experience, whatever that may be. We want to see them rising to the top. So if you want to click over to the video feed, I can actually show you around a little bit if you like. And of course, feel free to ask questions. We don't have to stay in communities all day today, but it's interesting, right? And like I said, most of you, if you're not already part of the testing team, most of you, I expect, will be some of the very first ones brought in the next phase of testing, right? We've all talked about this. Many of you are super interested. So let me flip over. Give me 1 second here. Let's try and not totally mess this up. So I am going to grab OBS and I'm going to flip over to browser and let's see what happens. There we go. So let me know if you guys can see this. What is a wazoo? It's a good question. I don't know. It is some orifice. Whichever orifice you have knowledge pouring out of, that's your wazoo. Okay? So if you're over there now, if you could see over on my live stream, everything looks okay. I could see the browser. The feed looks mostly the same. So where I kind of want to direct your attention to right now, there's 2. OBS, all the things. You'll see there's the left-hand side and the right-hand side, right? Obviously. You could see on the left, there's my friends, my communities, my subscriptions. Interesting. What's that all about? If you look at my friends, it is your feed as you're used to now. So what do you want to see from day to day? When you've gone around on Steem and you've followed people, right? You've followed an individual, they're your friends. So if you click on my friends, let's just do that. Let me go over to that page. If you click on my friends, you're going to get a chronological feed of people you follow. Now, of course, there we go. Took a second. You need a chronological feed of all the people that you follow and just the people that you follow. That's going to be your individual feed, right? So there you go. You're used to seeing this. This is new in no way. It looks like Discord, but built on Steem. Well, it looks basically the same as Steem, Justin. But so anyways, you guys are used to seeing this. This is exactly the same, right? This is what you're normally used to seeing in your regular feed. So these are your friends. Fine. What is my communities? That's that next one down on the left-hand side. Now, communities that you are subscribed to, that you've joined, are your communities. And when you click on that feed, there you go. So what you're going to see is a feed made up of any communities that you're subscribed to. And you have a couple different ways. If you see the drop down here, you have a couple different ways of looking at it. So if you follow 5 different communities, 10 different communities, 15 different, however many communities you engage with, the posts within them will be organized into your feed. So this has nothing to do with your friends. It has nothing to do with your follows. This is a totally new way of looking at Steem. Why is this good? Why is this bad? Why do we have this? Well, maybe you don't want to follow everybody on, I don't know, ThreeSpeak. Maybe you don't think that's a good way of engaging person to person, but you want to know what's going on with ThreeSpeak. Well, that's fine. You can do that. They'll be automatically woven together in this feed. Now, I only follow 2 right now. I follow Steamfest 4 and the Windows 95 aesthetic community. But part of why this is great is that, oh yeah, look at this. Marky was a Trump poop for a while there. Fair enough. This feed is important for a number of different reasons because it allows you to aggregate data in bigger chunks, but it also allows you to sort by niche. Now, it might be niche interest. It might be, I don't know, could be just a niche group of people. How you follow, how you create, how you engage with the community is pretty much up to you. If we look at some of the trending communities right now, ThreeSpeak, Steamfest 4, Korea, Team Malaysia, as you go down, you'll start seeing different types of communities. Some of these are organized around geographical area, right? Korea. Some of these are organized around an event like Steamfest. Some are a platform. Here's ThreeSpeak. And if you go down, Picture a Day is actually pretty fascinating. Picture a Day I have high hopes for because it actually hopefully will help us lead ourselves away from the idea of a shit post. And I have a high hope for communities in general with this. Picture a Day is literally, you could post 1 picture you took a day. That's the rules. Not 10, not 15. You don't get to make 72 posts a day of 1 picture. No, the rules for Picture a Day is you bring 1 picture that you took and you put it in the community and you could post once per day. You can make whatever rules you want. And the only thing that enforces these rules is your moderation team. So we could think about this. What if we made a knitted tea cozy appreciation community? And what if we decided that the rules are, well, just to ask me this, the only thing is we don't currently have the user base for this. I agree and I disagree. I'm going to agree with you. We don't have the user base, but this is one of those sort of cyclical problems that has a cyclical solution. Here we are with a community. If people who come to Steem can't fucking find anything they want, they're going to leave. If you build communities that have, a really tightly knit group, that have attractive posts, that have good moderation, that makes sense, all of a sudden it's going to be easier to find content, right? And if you can find the content you like, you'll stay. If you can find things that interest you, you'll be easier to onboard. So there are some bonuses to this. And I think this is an important part of at least being able to keep the people that we as individuals invite to join us, right? So Julie's asking, can anyone log into this now? No, not yet. Not quite yet. This is in a small release. But like I said, you guys, the most engaged community leaders, things like that, I'm going to hopefully have you looped into testing pretty soon, right? It's as Roadscape becomes more confident in where some things are happening and some changes are happening, you'll be given the opportunity to join it. So I'm going to keep showing you. And then Coin Runner, Big Taco's asking, does Beta Steem use live rewards? Hopefully I asked that right. Yes. Everything that you see there is correct. It's actually posting to the same chain. It's live. It's just locked down. Clap, clap. I know. I'm sorry. So yes, what you're seeing is actually happening on the chain. And so things that are being posted into these beta communities, for example, like if we go to Steamfest 4, let's go to the Steamfest 4 community. This was the one that was actually created live on stage during the presentation at Steamfest. And so you'll see, here we are. This is one that I moderate in. And so we've got a couple things happening here. You could see over on the right-hand side, if you're watching Vim, on the right-hand side, you'll see the name of the community. You'll see the description. You'll see the subscribers. You'll be able to post. There's a big button that says new post. What does that mean? You can actually post into this community, right? If this is live, could I make a community via the CLA without access on beta? You sure could. You absolutely could. If you're a CLI wizard, have at her, my friend. But in any case, there's a couple things I want to show you here that look a little different. If you look underneath, you'll see leadership. So here are where your moderators live, where the owner lives, where the admin lives. Moderators have different powers, very similar to what happens in Discord. So think about Discord when you have a moderator. Think about what they can do. Can they take a post out of the conversation if it doesn't fit? Yes, they can. Can they stop someone from posting into that feed? Yes, they can. Can they add a title to someone, right? Can they add a title to a person? Yes. These are all cool things that you can do, very cool things that you could do inside the community. This is good and this is bad. And why is this? Because I know the bad comments are coming. But you can delete my posts, but it won't show in the feed. That's censorship. Okay, let's break this down for a second, right? 15 people watching on Vim. That's it. Get your asses over there, friends. Will there be a way to only post to a community without it showing on the main Steem feed? I don't know yet, Isaria. I don't know. Because the idea is it's still posting to the blockchain, right? It's all posting to Steem. So even though you could post it into a community, you may not actually, right, want to post it on your wall, or you may not want to show it to the wider Steem world. I don't know what the reasoning would be. I'm not sure. You would basically need to have an interface that could do that for you. But again, this could be something that comes down the pipe. But the biggest thing is, Marky's kind of going down the road I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to touch on that. I don't want to get there quite yet, Marky, but thank you. So part of what we're looking at here is what can a moderator do within a community, and why is it good versus bad? Because everybody's going, censorship. Here's the thing. You are now getting centralized tools. What are centralized tools? My community is centralized. And as a moderator, I decide that Swoop's ass cannot be in my community. And I will just mute the post out. Now, am I censoring Swoop in some way? Oh, don't worry about it, Marky. It's fine. You're part of the conversation. That's why you're here. Swoop's ass is right up in my knitted tea cozy community. Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe he thought I was going to knit him some panties, right? But I'm not. I don't want his butt in my community. So I'm going to mute him out. Censorship, prude, right? Except no. Because what it means is that even though my knitted tea cozy community no longer has to see Swoop's ass, I'm not doing anything to him anywhere else. Anywhere else on the blockchain, anyone else who wants to pull that information, they can. It's still there. So you have the best of both worlds. You have a centralized set of tools that will allow you to build a community that doesn't have to look at butts, but you also still have the ability to know that on chain, you're censorship resistant. What you say is there. Swoop saying, help, I'm being oppressed. Now, Marco, you're not wrong. Right now in the MVP, the post into a community doesn't show on your personal feed. That may or may not change, but it also gives you a couple different options. It means that you could keep your personal feed clean and put a post into a community. It means that you could cross post between communities. There's things that are coming. There's definitely some work to be done in this area. But I want to kind of continue down this idea of censorship, muting, changing a feed. What does this look like? Marky brought it up, and I want to show you. Oh, look at this ass just falling from the sky. Ass. So over on the feed, now that we'll go back here, you're looking at the Steamfest 4 community via the trending feed. That's what's normal. Now trending, Roadscape has refreshed the trending algorithm. It turns over a little quicker. Now the reality is there aren't a lot of posts in this community yet, so there's only so much it can do. But here's some of the other cool things about it. Remember how I said you can moderate shit out of your community? Maybe, just maybe, you're the type that wants to know what moderators are doing. You want to watch the watchmen. You want to see, hey, is this a good community? What is it that they're moderating? Is this a good old boys club? Are they, block and swoop out not because of his butt, but because he has rival knitted tea cozy patterns? Maybe so. There's a way to see that. When you look at this feed, you'll see here's the main feed. It's in trending right now. Let's go to that drop down. If you go to the drop down, what do you have here? You got trending, hot, new, payouts, muted. I ask with a question in my voice. Muted? What is a muted feed? Interesting. If you go to any community and you click on that muted feed, you can see which posts inside the feed have been muted. You can see which ones have been hidden away. This is really, really cool, right? This is honestly quite interesting because it means that even a cleaned up community, even a community that has been shaped and pruned and whatever, if you want to go rummaging around in their dirty laundry, you can do that. You can absolutely do that. It means that in the same sort of vein that all of Steem is in, there's still transparency to your actions. So we have, again, the best of both worlds. There's a reason we're all so excited about this. Here's my community. It looks good. There's no shit being thrown around by Bernie Sanders. But I can also go looking over here and yep, there it all is. Nothing's been censored. Nothing's been hidden away that I can't find. And it gives you control. How many times on this show over the last 3 years have we talked about the biggest thing that we're missing as Steemians is control over how we see all of this crazy data that's coming out of the blockchain? Well, we're starting to get it, and we're starting to get it with some really powerful tools that I'm very excited for. So you can see in Steamfest 4, we've just been muting out known bots, right? And so you can see here are a couple bots. Archange's bot, Trendo Token, Helpy Cake. We know that these responses are directly from bots. We also know that a lot of the time they kind of break up conversation, right? So as awesome as they are and as helpful as these posts are, they don't really help add to the conversation. And we want to foster good conversation. So we muted them out. What does this mean? What does muting mean? Because we didn't actually flag them. We didn't downvote them. We didn't have to take away any rewards if we didn't want to. We didn't have to affect their rep. Many of you guys know that up to this point, if you're trying to clean up a feed, if you're trying to knock something off trending, if you're trying to clean up a tribe, what ends up happening is you end up having to use a downvote, which may or may not be your goal, right? You maybe don't want to adjust rewards, but you don't have another way to clean up a feed. All right, here's an option that can be used by moderators in a community. So, for example, Helpy Cake. It is an awesome notification that there was a manual curation done on my post. That's fucking awesome. I don't want to downvote this account. It doesn't deserve that. However, I can mute it, hide it, and not actually harm the account in any way. Now, unfortunately, right now, I think that, unfortunately, I don't think the bug has been fixed. So I can't show you guys how to put a Oh, yes, I can. I lied. All right, good. I will show you how to put a roll on someone because we can do that. It's just yesterday it went away. So you can start putting roles on people. Maybe you want to keep some bots in your community, but you want people to know they're a bot. You could put a role that says bot. You could put a role. You can basically do pretty much anything. Oh, Marky's turning this into a drama camp. I downvoted Nano Cheese with a 0 downvote to mute his post as STEM Geeks, and he said I wish I died from cancer and he wants to fight me in real life. So here's a good example of times where, you know, maybe we didn't actually want to downvote someone, and really underlines how people take downvotes. They're not normalized. People are not okay with it. And especially in the case where you don't actually mean or want to remove rewards, it's nice to have a different option, right? Right? Now, I mean, that whole like go die from cancer thing, that's gross. Don't do that. If you're that person, moderators probably can and will ban you from posting in the community. Boom! Delightful. So, you know, here are some options that, without actually impacting someone else's experience or, say, intrinsic rights on the Steem blockchain, you can create a space, a conversation, a community, a place where you can literally just, you know, do your thing on chain and not have to worry about other people shitting up the space that you occupy. All of the same rules still apply. All of the same things still go to the Steem blockchain, but you actually have some control on where you want to go day to day. And I can tell you guys, there are a couple things about communities already that I have been checking daily. They're so much better laid out. They've gotten me looking again at Steem. I mean, I look at Steem daily anyways, but I'm using them more frequently. So I want to show you guys some of those. If you're still with me, is everybody still alive? Everybody's still okay? Everybody is just sitting there, you know, like just waiting for me to keel over. And they want to fight me in real life. I will show you a couple of the features that don't necessarily have anything to do with communities themselves, but are part of this new communities environment and the new UI. So let's take a look at those. I'm going to show you. Let me hop back over here to my browser source. Ta-da, here I am. Let's take a look at, let's go to me. So let's go to my blog for a second. So here's my blog. Looks roughly the same, right? Most things look the same, but you'll notice my little bar here is different, my top bar. And if you're not watching on the Vim stream, this is going to be a little confusing, but I'll do my best to describe it visually nonetheless. So this little bar here, you will see I've got blog, posts, replies, payout, notifications. Cool. Cool. Oh, you'd mud wrestle me in real life. Yes. Yes. So everybody's dying, but they're still here. Let's take a look at, honest to God, the simplest one that is so useful is notifications. Yes, notifications are back. If you click on this, here is, and again, this is not finalized looks-wise, right? But let's take a look at it, and I'll kind of show you what's here and what's going to be changing. But this basically gives you a chronological list of things that are happening around your account, things that you need to know. Oh my gosh, it's so fucking simple. And here it is. So if you take a look at this, there is a reason that they're all different colors, and it shows up a little better on night mode, which is why I have it here. You'll notice some things are very pale and some things are quite opaque. What does that mean? And so there's actually sort of this, you don't really notice, but there's this sense that some of these notifications might be more important than others. Everybody's just talking about if Marky and I mud wrestled. Fair enough. We can make a community for that. But some of these are a little bit brighter, if you notice, right? These backgrounds are different colors. And it's a subtle indication that either this is a bigger vote, this is somebody with more Steem power, This is somebody with more followers. In general, these sort of different colored backgrounds, like see this spectrum here? Lets me know right off the bat, okay, here we go. This one is almost completely white. This person followed me. Michael B followed me. So if I go over and I click on good old Michael B, I could see he's got 200,000 steam power. All right, fair enough. He's a pretty big dude, right? It's an at-a-glance indicator that just shows me, hey, who's interacting with me on a day-to-day basis? Who is it that's voting me, following me, replying to me? So not only can I find new activity fast, I have a sort of at-a-glance look at who in the ecosystem is checking me out. Who am I checking out? It's a cool way of sort of reminding us that there are different levels of account. And all of this is leaning towards less about votes and more about kind of knowing who's engaged, right? That's what this really is. Part of it is to know who is engaged. Yeah, nobody follows me because nobody knows who I am. So I'm just getting attention now because I guess I went to Steamfest and some people realized I'm alive and also that I'm a human and also that I'm a witness. But listen, there are a bunch of things. There are a bunch of things here. When you say, can we control how many characters the usernames are you talking about the name of the community? Because yes, they can be bigger than 16 characters. And it's not a username per se. It's just a name for the community. I think it's up to 32 characters, I believe. Don't quote me. I can't remember. I haven't looked at the Git in a little bit. But yeah, you can control the name of a community and you can rename it. This is what we were talking about earlier. You might have missed this. Now, what's a crim? That's what everybody asks. What the fuck is a crim? And you know what? You probably don't want to find out, so it's fine. But let me show you, using Michael's thing here, if you're still looking on the Vim stream, let me show you these little subtle things that kind of enhance this idea of gamification and enhance this idea of interactivity, okay? So let's go back and look at Michael. I know the screen hasn't changed, but I have to flip to watch Discord. So let's look at Michael's sort of thing here going on. Now, not only can we see up at the top here, there's some changes. Look at his banner. Look at it closely. One of the biggest and most interesting changes is this right here. Active 8 hours ago. Yeah, there's a thing now that when you are active around on the site, when you are doing stuff on the site, it actually mentions this. Now, for people who don't post a lot or maybe don't even comment a lot, but they're around, they're sneaking around, they're doing stuff, there's an activity number, right? So that's really interesting. Why do we care about this? Who gives a shit? Right? There's a reason for this. And let me tell you why I think this is really cool. Let's compare Instagram to communities. Now, many of you guys may remember Jarvie's presentation at Steamfest. Many of you may not. Basically, the gist of Jarvie's presentation was, hey, I went over to big influencers on YouTube and I asked them a bunch of questions that sneakily basically asked them why they don't use Steem. So Jarvie's presentation was excellent. He went to people that we want on our platform and he said, hey, what are things that matter to you? And he asked these questions from a space that basically was like, would you like more engagement? Would you like to be able to directly communicate with the people who follow you? Would you like to be able to quantify your followers? And all of these answers from these big YouTubers and big influencers was fuck yes. And so the argument could be made, well, shit, you can do that on Steem. What's missing from this equation? And what Jarvie found out is that a lot of what's missing is actually quantifying followers. So let's look at Instagram for a second. Instagram is a bit of a fucking dumpster fire, right? Am I right? You can have 20, 30, 40,000 followers and a huge chunk of them are probably bots. They're not real people. But the problem is, and I mean, realistically, the problem is this: you can't tell. You really can't. And so when somebody who wants to, make a sponsorship goes to an Instagram influencer, they've got likes and they've got followers. That's really the metric. How do you decide who to pay? How do you decide who has real good reach with such a limited data set? Well, here's where communities and these changes, these hive changes that I'm talking about, could really make a big difference. So let's look at this banner again. Up at the top here, I can see that Michael B was active 8 hours ago. Now that's a thing that I can look at. That's information I can pull. What if I had my own community? Here I am, Crim, the influencer that nobody knows, with my 16 solid followers, right? All right, fuck yeah, my community is bumping, dudes, 16 people. So we make this community, and somebody wants to sponsor me. Somebody says, hey, you have all the people who love knitted tea cozies. I am going to pay you $100. You tell all your people about this new pattern that I have, this knitting pattern. How does a sponsor choose who they're going to partner with? How do they choose? What kind of data can they get? Well, from Steem, can you imagine as an influencer, if you have a community, not only can you see how many people are subscribed, you can see how they've been commenting, you can see how they've been liking, you can pull all sorts of interaction metrics from the blockchain. Well, I can see how many communities they're involved in. I can see, what if I could tell you that out of my 16 followers, 100% of those 16 followers were active in the last 6 hours? What if I could tell you that in my community, 100% of my subscribers to the community were active in the last day, they all liked at least one of my posts, and I can show you exactly where they commented and what time? All of a sudden, this starts becoming a really attractive pitch to a sponsor. And you're not just handing them a fly sheet of numbers. You're not just saying, trust me, I got a lot of followers, bro. This is information that they can come to the blockchain and they can verify easily. That's huge. That's really, really cool. So this is one of those fascinating things that isn't just about giving people who are already here and people who want to talk to each other good tools. This is also about finding ways to answer questions that these outside people that we want to onboard have. And up to this point, we haven't always had good answers for them, right? Now, Justin's asking something, so let me just quickly catch up here. I'm going to flip the stream back over. We'll come back. There's more stuff to look at, but I'm going to flip it back over just for a second to kind of catch up with Discord chat. So Justin is saying, how will the ecosystem combat perverts, the real sickos? I'm not joking either. How will we police all of these communities to keep Johnny Law out of our business? Yeah, this is a great question. So let's put it this way. Justin, if all of a sudden we had, let's call it a child porn community on the blockchain, and everybody started subscribing it and posting into it, right? Let's just say that's what they did. They formed some sort of really gross, icky little group love kind of thing. All of a sudden, you have a feed, we all have a feed that is instantly targetable for massive amounts of downvoting. We have a feed that helps us collect up everybody that's involved in this sort of thing. And all of a sudden, we could gather a big data set. Now, this is one of those questions that's really far-reaching. There could be a point where witnesses come together and say, hey, here are transactions and here are people that we need to remove from the chain. Will that happen? I don't know. But what it does mean is that anybody who wants to gather in a way that is illegal, unlawful, frankly, is really disgusting, they have now honestly collected themselves in a barrel. The entire platform can see them, know what they're about, can see how they're interacting, and can easily find posts to downvote into oblivion. Now, of course, I'm going to get hate for saying, oh my God, downvoting. But this is one of those cases where every single fucking person on the platform would be coming on over and smashing the fuck out of these guys. And wouldn't that make it just easy? Now, if you thought about it, if there's a community all about child porn and you're coming over there and you're posting in it, and you know, if you post into this child porn community, that the entire Steem blockchain is going to come over here and nuke you from motherfucking orbit just to be sure. Would you post into that community? Would you keep using a community that literally branded you as a target on Steem? Probably not, right? Probably not. You would probably stop using that community pretty fucking quickly. It's kind of like downvotes work. So I hope that this answers your question a little bit, Justin. One of the reasons that this is so fabulous is because it does mean that it becomes easier. Think about it now. I want to downvote child porn on the blockchain, right? I want to make sure that nobody posts this kind of shit. How do I find it right now? Right now, at this second. I have to try to search Steem to find it. I don't know where the fuck that is. Do I want to spend my day doing that? But if all of a sudden, all these horrible people come to a community and they are doing something really, really illegal, and they have grouped themselves in a way that they have made a community around it, well, all of a sudden, we're going to fuck them up and we're going to chase them out. It's actually amazing. It would be awesome. So Swoop has wrangled the Discord audience with some very fabulous doudoir. I am going to take a quick break here. I'm going to grab something to wet my whistle. I'm going to put on a little bit of music. We're going to do a little bit of a dance because we're right about at the halfway mark of the show. I've got about 40 minutes left to chat with you guys. We can continue on this route. We can keep talking about communities. I could show you a little more of the interface. I could get some more of your feedback, answer your questions. But that's what we're going to quickly do. My name is Crimson Clat. If you're just joining us, I am a moderator here in Palnet. I am a Steem witness. I'm Miss Madness if you nasty. And on Saturdays at some point, whether it may be morning or evening for you, I am hanging out here. We talk about Steem, we talk about community, we talk about tech, we have a little fun, we do a little dance, we make a little love. That's what we're going to do now. I'm going to put on a brand new track by a group called Magic Sword. They're fucking amazing. They're here from the West Coast. The new track is called Lady of Light. It's got a long intro, so I'm going to cue that up. It's very ominous here in the background. We will continue talking about communities here today. Bring your questions. Let me know what you think. We'll take a little bit more of a closer look at the interface because there are still some changes I want to show you. There's still some cool stuff about communities. And maybe before the end of the show, we make a community live on air. Why not? We'll see. I'm going to let this get going now. Put your dance pants on. You are listening to MSP Waves. Radiolite, a brand new track by a group called Magic Sword. Fuck, they're awesome. Seriously, they're so fucking cool. It's ridiculous. I'm actually going to see them very shortly. I'll be seeing them live on Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. I'm excited. So, hey, if you're just joining us and you're wondering what that was all about, my name is Crimson Clad. This is Steemwave Radio. On Saturdays, I play a little bit of synthwave and outrun. We play some fun music, but mostly we talk about Steem. We learn, we bullshit, whatever. And you can see over on the overlay today, we're bumping. We got everybody floating down in the waves there on Discord. We got 16 people watching on Vim TV. We're having a time. We are having a time. And so, I just kind of want to continue talking about communities if that's okay with you guys. All right, so let me switch back over. Now that I've got the overlay updated and there's some numbers on there, let me switch back over to the browser. There we go. So where we left off there a second ago was we were talking about what has changed in the banner of a person. So we know that the now active here up at the top has changed. You've got a now active indicator. When was the last time somebody was seen and they were doing stuff? Enhance and swoops crotch. Fair enough. I'm sure there's a whole community for that too. Crotch enhancements. You could do it. You want that community? We could go get it. But let's take a quick peek here. So not only is there the active now, you'll see right above that, there's a little bit more of the gamification at play. So right above that, you'll see now, look at this. You've got how much steam power someone has right there. You've also got a number, a ranking, if you will. What's that all about? And that's actually looking at your held steam power, and it's looking at a ranking of people on the blockchain via how much steam power they're holding. It's something simple. It's teeny tiny, right? But it gives an indication of, hey, how hardcore is this person? They're holding, how big are they? What, are they a big fish, a little fish? It's one of those things that we think about at the end of the day, whether we like it or not. And it's not just about voting. We love to organize ourselves, classify ourselves, rank ourselves. And here is this little held minus delegated. Yes, thank you, Inertia, good point. Because I think I only show up at well, let's see. What do I show up as? Good question. Let's just see, because I don't even know what I've got delegated out anymore. Let's go back to me. Yeah, 15.6. That sounds about right. So we can also look at my wallet because your wallet has changed a little bit too. Now you can see here it's showing that I've got 15 and change steam power and that I'm number 925. That's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting. These are these little things that, we're starting to train people to look away from maybe how big the vote is, but to also start looking at, well, actually, I disagree. I don't think they should show it like they do in the wallet. The idea there is simply, hey, here's what this person has locked up and is packing and is, got behind them on a day-to-day basis. This is part of the gamification, right? We want to start looking at people and saying, ooh, look how much steam they're holding. Ooh, we want to bring that back to being, part of it. We want to bring that back to being something that's interesting, not just how big their vote is, not just whatever. We want to see reasons to hold steam power that, honestly, if they're a little vain, so what? That's okay. That's the idea here. What does deciding to lock up and hold steam, or is that rank related to community? No, no. That rank is your steam power. That's it. Now, that being said, inside communities themselves, in the future, coming down the line, this is something that Roadscape's been talking about quite a bit and is currently taking suggestions on and something. In the future, there will be inside of community rankings. There will be algorithms for, pulling lists of interesting or most active members, or maybe longest joins. These are things that are all possible. And if you have suggestions on this, then of course, feel free to shoot them my way and I'll take them to Tim. But the reality is this is on his mind already. What do we do? Forget the whole Steem blockchain. What's happening inside my community? Who's an OG member? Who posted the most inside the community last week? Who's the most engaged? All of a sudden, these are all these things that we want to know and that are important to building a strong community that doesn't have sweet fuck all to do with voting or rewards. Holy shit. Crazy. But all of a sudden we're getting back to the stuff that really makes us love algorithm. Everybody's saying algorithm to sound smart. We can do that. Algorithm. It's much like how when we want to say something cool on Full Force Radio, it's now war crabs. Fine. But yeah, you can absolutely start sorting by this stuff, pulling these numbers, these metrics, these things. Tim Cliff, no, sorry, Solo, Roadscape. I see Shadows Pub has joined us. Lots of people hopping in. Zippy, I didn't say hi to you. Hopping in, hoppy out. Matt's back. Good to see you, my man. We're just chitty-chatting here today, and we're also taking a look at communities on the Vim stream. So if you want to watch the video alongside what we're talking about here in chat, you can do that. War crabs! So here are some of the sort of exciting things that are coming. Yes, you did hear Tim, Solo. That's actually his name. So you're not crazy. But yeah, so I've got about half an hour, slightly less than half an hour left. We're going to try and get through as much as we can. Look at all you people hopping in and out. If I don't say hi to you, it's because I'm an asshole and I can't keep track. Okay? Fair enough. So up on the Vim screen right now, if you're on Vim and you're wondering what the fuck is going on in Discord, that's fair. Nobody knows what's happening. Don't worry about it. But on the Vim stream right now, you'll see we're looking at my wallet, my page. We're talking about some of the changes to the UI. So what we've gone over already today, we've gone over these changes here to the top bar. You've now got blog, posts, replies, payout, notifications. We went over notifications, why they're really interesting and really cool. They're chronological list of events of stuff that you might want to check on. Follows, mentions, follows, mentions, votes, replies, right? Makes it really easy to see what you need to attend to. The payout tab, same sort of thing. Here's the stuff that's coming up for payouts, and it's sorted by the most. So you know exactly here what's coming at, at what level, if that matters to you. I don't really care, but at the same time, it might be useful. You might want to know, hey, shit, I need 3 Steem because I want to create a community. Let me see what's going to pay out next. Cool, you've got that option. Same thing, replies, replies. Posts is all of your replies as well. So replies are what's coming into you. Posts are what's outgoing. Same shit. Nothing has changed. When we come back up to the top, we've already looked at this. We've already looked at the new changes in terms of Steem Power being shown, a ranking via Steem Power, and also your activity. So what have we... There you go. What have we missed? There's a great one. Is this on the Steemit UI? Yes, Strange Visions. This is on the Steemit UI. But, do we get a fancy bell for notifications? No. But, and it's a big but, and it's not Swoop's but. Here's the cool thing. All of this stuff is done with hivemind. All of it is live and, in production now. And what this means is when this does get fully launched, it's going to be going out multi-platform. These things... Oh, webhooks were turned off. Team Humble, I swear to God, I wasn't ignoring you. Phil, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, my man. Oh, man. So, I can see your comments now. Here I was telling everybody over on the Vim stream, just say something. And they were, and it wasn't showing up. Shit. Sorry. So what I was saying is that this is going to go out for more than one UI. Now, obviously, right now, it's steemit.com. The Steemit team is working, of course, closely with the Steem Peak team. And you're going to see that multiple UIs are going to support this. So again, if you're not in love with what Steemit Inc. has done here, and you're not in love with the steemit.com interface, that's okay. That's all right. No big deal. You will have other options, right? Right off the bat, from inception. So that's a good thing. If you're a Steem Peak user, if you love it, great. No problem. Still going to be able to use it. It's all good, fam. And yeah, of course, say hi to Dale for me. I'm so sorry. Oh gosh. Vim streamers, you could talk now, so do it. But what you're seeing on my screen right now, let me click back over there. What you're seeing here, yeah, this is the steemit.com UI. Now, let's just quickly take a quick peek back at communities and sort of how you navigate around this area. I'm just trying to keep my eye on the time. I got about 15 minutes left with you guys today. So you can actually now see, go to Steamfest 4. We've got new posts coming in. I saw Little New Things has posted a new one. I see Buzz Lightyear has got another 52 moments. Good Lord, he's a beast. And so here's the thing. We're starting to put attendee rules on here. So you can see, look, these are almost like Discord titles, right? Here are titles, and we can make these whatever we want. Do you guys want to give me a role? What would you want to put? I can show you how we can add a role to pretty much anyone. Now, Test Safari is actually Roadscape. This was from the actual presentation at Steamfest, and he went and he put weirdo on himself just to show that's what you could do. So this is something, I'm making stuff. We need more dank gifts, give me a roll. Well, right now, I've basically got the people in the community. People in the community and who have posted in the community, I can give a roll. Hi, Dale. I need the queen roll. Fair enough. So the last thing that we can do is, do you want me to show you how to make a community? Now, of course, remember, it's not open to everybody yet, but you guys will be some of the first that I will be looping in. Is this a new interface? Making stuff. Let's catch everybody up quickly. If you just jumped in and you have no fucking idea what Krim is ranting about, I am showing you the beta of the new interface with the communities feature deployed. Now, this is live, it exists, it's working, but it's in a closed test. And no, I went over this just not that long ago. It won't be for Steemit only. Steem Peak and another interface will both have it available as well. And of course, any other interface that wants to use it will be able to as well. Azaria, actually, to be fair, I really like the Steemit Inc. layout. I've always liked steemit.com. I've always liked it because I'm crazy. I have some tweaks in it that make it mine. And I basically use the Steem Peak portfolio when I want to show somebody my photography work. That's it. That's the only time. Otherwise, I actually really like steemit.com. And this has totally changed. Honestly, everything that I do, all the things that I wanted, they're here now on steemit.com. So you can use whatever you like. Whatever makes you happy, that's what you can do. Now, Dale, you were asking, if you post to the blockchain from another front end like Steem Hunt, will that update your active recently stats? It sure will. Absolutely it will. This is all the same blockchain. All of the things that are happening on this blockchain will ripple out. You can pull this data via hivemind. Anybody can pull this and use it on a website, on a front end, for stats. All this stuff is going to be available. Very, very, very cool. Very cool. And usefully, it's not in consensus, which means that changes that are going to be coming to communities and things that need to be deployed can be deployed without a hard fork, right? So if we decide, hey, not 100% loving the way something looks or not loving the way this operates, no problem. Roadscape's working on it, and there are going to be a bunch of iterations through this closed testing and also through the more open testing. And even after that, once it goes live, the idea is that communities are going to continue to be developed into a tool set that will allow you to do whatever the hell you want with Steem. We just want you to be happy, right? Fuck yeah. So, 15 minutes left. We can open her up for questions and comments. We could make a community. We could show you around a little bit more if you're just catching up on the Vim stream. It's up to you guys. This show is yours. I had in mind that I thought maybe that I would create a heavy metal community. Probably nobody will use it yet, but I would love to create it and prep it. I would love to have a place for people to talk about music, where we could talk about full force radio. I mean, there's lots of stuff that I personally would like to do. You don't see the Queen badge. I don't know if we have consensus on Queen. That feels a little self-aggrandizing. Melinda says, make a community. Okay, so maybe we do. Maybe we just make a community and I show you what that actually looks like. Shadows Pub says, aunties can't miss first birthdays. They get de-anted. Fair enough. I don't want to get de-anted. First birthdays are also an excuse for aunties to drink their faces off, so I'm going to do that as well. And yeah, what's up? I agree. I lose follows all the time. All the time. I don't even look at it anymore because who cares? They come and they go. Emoji this if Quim should have the Quim. If Quim should have the Queen badge. Oh, goodness. Friends, my friends. I see 18 over on the Vim stream. Hi to you. Feel free to chat. Oh, shit. Is that just Julia just smashing every emoji in existence? Because I kind of think it might be. Let's make a community. Let's show you guys how. Now, let's also try not to give my keys to the world. Let's see how this goes. We'll move over to the browser here. Back to the browser. So if you want to create a community, it is fucking simple. Dead simple. You would go to your wallet. Now, I happen to have a wallet page already up, so let's just see. But you would go the same way as you normally would. You would click through from your wallet link. You would type it in, steematwallet.com. So I've already pulled this up. When you go to your wallet, you're going to see some changes. You've got your blog, your rewards, balances, keys, change password, communities. So indeed, you can click right here on communities, and there it is. Create a community. Boom. That's simple. There's the button. There it is. You do want to create a community. Yeah, and you can. So I am going to do a little thing here. I'm going to drop a color source on the screen. Yeah, okay, that works. So let's create a community. The first things first, we need a name for our community. We're going to call it Heavy Metal. We can come back. Here's the beauty. We could come back to this and change it later. We don't have to worry about it. Heavy Metal. Boom. All right. About. What is my community about? A place to talk about, share, and headbang to the heaviest music around. Bring your concert, photos, album, reviews, and live streams. Oh, there you go. We've hit the character limit. So there we go. Bring your concert photos, album reviews, etc. Perfect. There you go. Right? Perfect. Next. I've already fucking broadcast the fucking password out to everybody. Went lame. What a fucking fail. So there you go. If you guys were watching, if you were being clever, you could actually steal this away from me now, you bastards. Well, that's fine. If somebody tries to steal it, I'll just create a new one. There's the beauty of a community. We can have as many fucking communities as we want. Ron says, nobody will ever use this community. You're wasting money. Fair enough, but I'll have it and I'll use it and it'll be the coolest. And if one of you fuckers steals it from me, I'll just make a better community. There you go. I'll make a better community with hookers and blow. Here I was thinking I had my little color block up and I had taken it down. Wah, wah. All right. Well, anyways, let's do this. Let's create the community. I am completely fine with this. And in fact, I'm actually going to do one of these. I'm going to refresh the page. 1 sec, guys. Heavy metal. About. There we go. Next. Boom. Got a new password. So fuck you guys. I'm going home. Give me 1 sec here. Let me save said password. Right? Let me do that. And let me create it. So my new account is Hive164411. That's my major malfunction. And I'm going to click. I have securely saved it. I know what it is. I got it. I've been here. I've done it. Create community. Now, if you could see over on the screen, this will cost 3 Steem. Do you want to proceed? I sure fucking do. There it is. There it is. Now, I've got to actually do this for myself. So 1 second. I'm also going to try again not to get myself all fucked up and give you my keys. And I'm going to do this copying and pasting, which I don't like, but I don't actually have Keychain on this browser because I don't normally use it. So let me sign in. We are broadcasting. There it is. Account created. Setting Crimson Cloud as admin, which you can't see. So let me remove that. There we go. That was it. That was the whole thing. That was the whole schmozzle. I've done it. Boom. Your community was created. So there you go, guys. That was the whole thing. Your screenshot is, yeah. Your screenshot is useless now. And yes, let's make a Dude War community. So there it was. You guys literally just saw it. It's done. I have created it. It's ready to go. It's live, bitches. Heavy metal is live. So get started. You can now click on that. Here we go. There it is. Heavy metal. So check over here. 1 subscriber. It's me. A heavy metal community. A place to talk about, share, and headbang to the heaviest music around. Bring your concert photos, album reviews, etc. There it is. How do you like them apples? Now, I mean, I hate to say it, I'm going to have to fucking post. It needs a post. So I'm going to have to put something in there. But that's as much as it takes. 3 Steem, 5 minutes tops. You all good? You done. Will there be a boobopolis? You are only restricted to the things that you dream. So that's how simple it is. We don't have to get super techie. You don't have to worry about knowing how to use CLI. You don't have to worry about anything. You want to make a community, you fucking make it. You start sharing it with anybody you want to join it. You want to be able to post into it. And that's it. You're on your way. So by next week, I'm going to hopefully put some content into this little fucker. I'm going to work with Roadscape a bit more. There's a number of super awesome testers. I mean, it's really not just me. I'm quite late to the party. A number of fabulous people have gotten us this far. He's working his ass off on this, and it's really, really exciting. So how would someone join the said community? Now, because this is in sort of a closed beta right now, it's not very easy. But if you were to say, I want to join this heavy metal community, if you were over, I've changed the screen now. If you were over here, you would go to the main page of Steemit, and over on the side, right? We talked about the left and the right sides now, the UI changes. Over on the left, we talked about where your feeds are. My friend feed, my community feed, my subscription. So it shows you what you're already subscribed to, right? Now, of course, it's not showing heavy metal because this is the other screen. There is underneath, explore communities. So if I click on that, I can now explore all of the communities that exist. And there are quite a few. You can find it here and you can join it. Now, there's an easier way, and that would be somebody just shares the link with you. So if I shared the link to the heavy metal community, which is beta.steemit.com, right? Here it is. I could give you this link if you had beta access. And you could come here and you'll see on the side, if you're looking at the screen right now, on the right side, here are the options for the community. You can put a post into it, but right underneath here is a button that says, if I wasn't already joined, it would say join, but I am. So it allows me to join or leave. It's as simple as that. Navigate to the community page, click join. That's how simple it's going to be. Now, Team Humble almost seems a bit excessive that I have to get a flight to Thailand to get access. Fair enough. It will be expanding soon. But that was a nice, easy, small test group of people who we had the ability to kind of let in. And not everybody's in yet. Like I said, you guys are the top of my list. I'm going to be looping in community members as soon as we get kind of an idea that it's ready to go a bit wider. But if you're not excited, it won't matter. If you are excited, I want to hear everything you think. We've gone over it pretty in depth today, but there's so much more we could discuss. So, who will be the first to claim the Chris Isaak community? Julia, everyone, every single person on the blockchain could have their own Chris Isaak community. And when we decided that that's fucking horrible, everybody who made that Chris Isaak community could pivot and decide to make their Chris Isaak community into something else. You can rename them. You can give them new descriptions. You can change moderation teams. You can add admins. You can do whatever you want. There's no race to camp a name. There's no race to make sure you're the first. All you got to do is build a good set of rules, a good team, and an experience people will want to come and see. Whatever that looks like. Maybe it's a Rickroll community. Maybe the comments, every comment must post with the starting letter to spell out never gonna give you up. It doesn't matter. The rules can be whatever you want. This is our chance to start looking at what is a good post on Steem differently. For a second, forget about trying to draw votes. But what if you could build a group that had some sort of dumb niche purpose that was so fucking fun again? What if you had a smart niche purpose that attracted people because there were people that could teach them? What if you had a confusing niche purpose that intrigued people who kept coming back and kept posting in spite of themselves? That is the idea here. Whatever you want to do and whatever it looks like, whether it be one character, one picture, 37,000 word essays, whatever. Communities is going to allow you to shape that experience. And that's fucking cool. All right. So, can't be a shitty auntie. As much fun as I'm having here with you guys today, as great as this show has been, and probably as more questions as you may have, I do have to wrap up today. Clay's gonna make a twerk community. We're gonna have a dudeoir community. We're gonna do all this shit. Proof of twerk shall live. Agreed. So, if you have more questions, if you have more comments, hit me up anytime. I'm here on Discord, I'm on Steam Chat, I'm on Chain. Find me, do whatever you want. Otherwise, if you want to come back next week, we can talk a little bit more about what's going on. We can check more things out. We can talk about anything else. It's up to you guys. We could do a caps lock only yell community. Boom. Look at the ideas you guys are coming up with. It's gonna be fucking fun. Now, I'm gonna leave. It's gonna switch over. When I stop streaming, it's gonna switch over to the Steemix. I am hoping that somebody else might take over. But my friends, thank you so much for everything you've done today. I really appreciate that you've come and hang out, that you've interested in communities, that you're still here. That question that I asked you earlier in my post last week from Thailand. Are you here? Are you here? I think you are. You're here. You're active. You're alive. You're on Steem. You're with your friends. Good things will happen. And it's because of you. It's because of communities. All right, friends. I will see you next week. Take care. Much love. Gonna flip you guys over to the Steemix. Bye.